What up, everybody? It's your boy DTLF back with another video, man. What a very interesting Sunday. Hopefully, everybody out there is enjoying their Sunday afternoon. Super hyped, guys, because obviously there was a crazy trade that happened again today. The NBA, the gift that keeps on giving, and then a free agent signing of Wenyen Gabriel with Boston. We're gonna break all that down, but first, I got to talk about what's at hand, okay? And the reason I didn't make this video earlier because my team was playing, baby. Shout out to the Rams, man. What's up with Puka Nakua? Just continues to shatter records, guys. Just destroying it. His first official career touchdown happened as a game winner. 9 receptions, 163 yards as the Rams defeat the Indianapolis Colts 29-23 in overtime. What a game. Shout out to Matthew Stafford. This dude is phenomenal. All right, he's out here slanging that thing. He's out here slanging that football, even though he's hurt, even though he got hit a couple of times. He was grimacing. Wow, just absolutely beautiful to watch, man. And listen, there's already chatters and whispers talking about we should tank. Stop it. We don't even have Cooper Kupp, and we are 2-2. The Rams are here to stay, baby, and we're here to battle. And that's exactly what we did today. So I'm very excited, man, for this team. And how about Kyron Williams, yo? How about Kyron Williams? This dude right here, man, he's got 5 touchdowns in 4 games. Okay, he had another 100-plus rushing yard game and 2 touchdowns today on 25 carries. Shout out to Kyron Williams, who, by the way, when he got drafted last year, he had that little speech where he felt like he got slighted and he was going to give the Rams his everything. But again, Matthew Stafford, 319 yards, 1 touchdown. He did throw an interception. However, he made up for that, man, playing his heart out. And like I said, slinging that football like a G. But the star of the game continues to be Puka, man. Again, Puka, he takes hits. He keeps going. He has great hands. That one-handed catch in the first quarter, whew, my goodness. And I'll give credit to the Colts. They came back, all right? 15-0 run in that fourth quarter. And there's the second half was completely theirs. Remember, we went up, 20-0 in the first half. Second half was theirs. But you got to give them props. They were phenomenal. They did what they had to do to catch up, and we did what we had to do to put them away. Gutsy win by my Rams, baby. I feel great. Whose house? Let's go. Hey, listen. If this is a precursor for what's to come during the Lakers and NBA season, sign me up, because tomorrow is the first official media day. Right, tomorrow. So make sure you guys tune in right after media day for full coverage. I will be taking notes on what my observations were, and I will give you guys my full thoughts as soon as media day is over. I cannot wait. The Lakers season officially, or unofficially, but unofficially kicks off tomorrow with media day. If you're a hoop head like me, you love it from the beginning. We really get into it everywhere from summer league to the draft to a training camp, preseason. It's all entertaining, and media day is one of my favorite days because you get a true insight on what's about to happen in the forthcoming season. So on that note, hey, thank you, bro. Thank you, Christian. Appreciate you, man. Thanks so much for the graphics, my brother. You're always killing it. He said, Dan, Puka is different. I know, right? This dude's shattering records left and right. Seriously, it's unheard of. Man. Like, this dude has over 100 yards in 3 out of the 4 games he's played in. That's insane. And again, 163 yards, rookie of the year for sure. That's a given. But he's just shattering records, and a game-winning touchdown in overtime on the road in Indianapolis. Woo, man, let me tell you, Puka is different for sure, and he's ready, man. He's here to stay. But now let's talk about the trade that happened today, right? Mr. Drewski, aka Drewsterizer. All right, Jrue Holiday. Here's the thing, right? We've been talking about it. Shout out to Jeff on his channel. If y'all haven't checked it out, go check it out. We're covering this very subject the last time I was over there. I believe it was his last video. Go check that out if y'all haven't checked it out. We really broke it down on why Boston would be legit if they made this trade. However, there is something they did that I didn't, and if I was a Celtic fan, which can't even imagine that, but there's something they did that I think was pathetic. They overpaid for Jrue Holiday. Even though Jrue Holiday is sensational, there is such a thing as an overpay, and wholly overpay because the trade was the Celtics are trading Robert Williams, Malcolm Brogdon, the 2024 Golden State Warriors first, and the 2029 unprotected Boston first to the Blazers. So if you want to talk about the Blazers winning the offseason as far as rebuilding goes, They did that, family. They completely did that. And I'm just like, listen, the entire trade that they got in total for one Damian Lillard. Hear me out. This is like NBA 2K type shit. Like this is like when somebody goes and maximizes the potential, the value of a 33-year-old star player. The final tally on the Lillard trade was Portland gets DeAndre Ayton, Robert Williams, Malcolm Brogdon, Tunami Kamara, 3 first-round picks, and 2 pick swaps. That is a lot for an aging superstar like Dame. So credit to them. They really did work, fam. They really did work. And shout out to Angel, man. He's been trying to finesse people all morning long with the fantasy day trades. And if you guys are in our fantasy league, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I love it, man. Angel has that fantasy league spirit a month early. Celtics have no depth. The thing that the Celtics messed up on, and this is where I think they messed up on the trade, they gave up Robert Williams. I didn't think that would be necessary. That's a lot, to be honest with you, for Jrue Holiday. And I like Jrue Holiday. I think he fits in like a glove. Obviously, they lost Marcus Smart, but they get a better floor general in Jrue. And at the same time, they replaced Robert Williams with Wenyen Gabriel, unfortunately. That's the other part of the news I want to talk about. Our guy, Wenyen Gabriel, went and signed with the Celtics. Eesh. I'm going to hate to see that because Wenyen is a hard worker, and he's a skilled big, right? He's not the most skilled big, but he's a very skilled big who plays extremely hard. So they got a good one over there. And I'm happy he got a job at least, shout out to Wenyen. But I hate to see him go to Boston, man. I hate it. But yeah, look, that trade, obviously the Celtics are going to be dangerous. They were dangerous last year. Is that going to be enough to get them over the top? To be determined. Honestly, I still like the Bucks better than the Celtics simply because they gave up some size with Robert Williams. And I'll tell you this, Milwaukee has all their size. They got Brook Lopez. They got Bobby Portis. Al Horford is not going to be able to hold that front line by himself. Kristaps Porzingis is injury prone until proven otherwise. So even though I think it's a good trade, is it the one that puts them over the top? I doubt it, to be honest, man. I think it's going to be a real battle in the East. The biggest loser here is the Miami Heat. They got nobody and lost a couple of key pieces this offseason. So who knows what they can do? Maybe they get in on the James Harden sweepstakes. Maybe they won't. But they're the biggest losers, man. Thoughts? What do you guys think when you guys heard this trade for Jrue Holiday this morning? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Craig said, great Rams victory. Hope Stafford's hip is all right. Yeah, man. Look, that's unfortunate. As he's getting older, he's becoming more injury prone, and that's normal, especially in the sport of football. We all saw what happened to Aaron Rodgers, man. Wish him a speedy recovery as well. So that's tough, but very excited, very gutsy win. I have major respect for Stafford for staying out there and finishing this game off. That's who he is, man. He has the heart of a lion. Of course, he came from Detroit, the Lions, pun intended, and now he's a Ram. So he hit that collision course head on, as a Ram should do. So major props to him, man. And again, what an exciting game, bro. What an exciting I felt like I was there at the football stadium, man. And going on the road, beating a team like the Colts, who were 2-1, it's not easy, right? They have one of the best D lines, right? They were coming out to Stafford. They were really attacking him. Shout out to the O-line for holding up at the end for my Rams. But my goodness, man, my goodness. Hey, what's up, Empire Jeff? Whose house? Rams house, baby. You already know what it is. Very exciting, man. Football is exciting, but can you imagine how exciting basketball's about to be? Let's see. My guy said they gave up Robert Williams. Yeah, that's just a tad bit too much, in my opinion. Malcolm Brogdon plus 2 first-round picks for me was more than enough. So talk about holy overpay. They did that. They gave up a lot. And I'm not saying Jrue Holiday is not worth it, but you also have to watch out for your front court depth. You see a lot of the NBA is improving in that department, and you're out here, you're out here trading your bigs, man. So, that's unfortunate. And shout out to the Cash App, bro. By my guy, Ivan Flores, man. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that, man, more than you know. But yeah, like I said, Robert Williams plus Brogdon, who I think didn't he just win 6th man of the year? I believe he did. 6th man of the year, Brogdon, Robert Williams, and 2 first-round picks for Jrue Holiday. Hey, shout out to the Portland Trailblazers. They did the right thing, fam. Trust. They did the right thing by holding out, not trading Dame where he wanted to go. Again, think about it. They get listen, the Blazers for Damian Lillard, and you cannot tell me this. If you're a Portland Trailblazers fan, you got to be ecstatic at how this played out. All right. He didn't get coerced into trading him to Miami, who were probably going to underpay you. You get DeAndre Ayton back, who still has a ton of potential. I still think he can pan out, but depends on the player development and all of that. His heart, if it's in the right place. You got Robert Williams to back him up. That's huge. You got Malcolm Brogdon, 6th man of the year. They could also flip him for more assets, of course. Tonami Kamara, I don't even know who that is, to be honest. But you get 3 first-round picks and you get 2 pick swaps. That's a total of like 5 first-round picks, 4 Damian Lillard plus a starting caliber big man plus. Oh my God, man! Just geez, crazy, right? They got a lot. So shout out to them. And by the way, I think they're under new ownership. I think so, right? The ownership just bought out the Blazers like last year or 2 years ago. So you got to love it, man. This is exciting for a rebuilding team like them. Obviously they got Scoot Henderson, who is one of my favorites for Rookie of the Year. I think he's my dark horse sleeper pick. Obviously you got Shaedon Sharpe, high flyer, man, who has a lot of potential to become a 2-way wing. You guys have Jeremy Grant, who I don't know if he fits your timeline at this point, if I'm being quite frank. But if they want to compete now, they have an outside shot of making a play-in tournament with this roster. I mean, this is a very solid, formidable roster. They can gel quickly here. And then Chauncey Billups is a decent coach, I believe. So we'll see. He said, hey, I appreciate that, Ivan. Thank you, man. Much love, brother. Thank you so much. You're the best. He said, okay, but now they got chemistry issues because Ayton is a crybaby and Robert Williams deserves to be a starter too. We'll see what the Blazers do. Well, I'll tell you this. DeAndre Ayton, I don't believe – the thing about him is I don't think he was happy in Phoenix. Think about it. He was second and then third fiddle to Kevin Durant and to Devin Booker. Now, you got to remember, when Ayton played for Arizona, he was the number 1 guy. It takes a lot for these big men to adjust and become the number 2 or number 3. Or in this case, with Bradley Beal landing there, he was going to be the number 4 or 5. All right. So I'm sure he wasn't happy there. You get a fresh start. You go into a city of Portland, who really right now, they're going to hand over the keys to Scoot. Let's be honest. Well, what we've seen from him in the G League plus in the Summer League, he looks like he's going to be primed and he's going to hit the ground running like Freddie Flintstone. All right. So they're going to hand over the keys to him, but you got a young star. You can work with a young star. If you're DeAndre Ayton, you can work with a young star. And then if it doesn't work out for whatever reason, you have him under contract. You can get some valuable assets for him as well, right? If Robert Williams is more of the type of player that's going to buy in and play the long-term role, then he might, fit a little bit better. But we'll see what happens there. I wouldn't give up on Ayton. I think, listen, as Laker fans, we should know that. Sometimes one team's trash is another team's treasure. And, teams give up too soon, just like they did with Rui Hachimura, just like they've done with other players in the past. Trevor Ariza, we get them and we turn them into the gems that they always were. So, it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. I love young cores. And I think, the young core of Portland Trailblazers is going to be a fun one to watch. I'm telling you, man, it's going to be exciting. The fast breaks, they got Anthony Simmons out there. He's a combo guard scorer. They got obviously Shaedon Sharpe running the wing transition. He's going to be catching some bodies in transition. Scoot Henderson, man, I really think this guy is going to be, something else. I really do. So I cannot wait to see what he pans out to be, because I've always had my eye on him. And I actually thought if this was in the Wembanyama draft, he easily would have been number 1 pick in the NBA draft. So we'll see what he pans out to be. You're right, Angel. Yes, Anthony Simmons is real nice. Ayton wanted to leave. He said he was very excited in the Blazers welcoming video. And that could be a good thing. But, they got to wait and see with DeAndre Ayton. The only question mark about Ayton has never been the skills. It's always been the heart. Is it in the right place? There's been video clips going around the web where this guy wasn't even making an effort. But that could also be because of the way he was treated by Chris Paul and Devin Booker. Let's not mince our words. Those guys are assholes. Let's be honest. They just are. Okay, those 2 guys are assholes. I've seen many clips of them yelling at DeAndre and just placing blame on him. We all know Devin Booker doesn't like to get double teamed. He's going to get cooked. This is why they brought all these extra ISO players to give him the space that he wants and needs, right? So, yeah, if I'm DeAndre Ayton, I wouldn't want to be there either. I mean, you really want to be just doing the dirty work for that team? I mean, I guess I can see the flip side of that is like you were the number 1 overall pick, right? And you're just turning into a rebound and shot blocking type of player. I'm sure he wants touches. I'm sure he wants to display his mid-range shot. I'm sure he wants to be able to, do some things. Be featuring the pick and roll a little bit more. And he has an opportunity to do that in Portland. Although it could go south as well, because if Portland has a bunch of youngsters and they're all trying to find their identity, we've seen what happened with the Houston Rockets. So there's always two sides of the spectrum, two sides to the story, and let's see which one wins out. But if we're talking about on paper, I like what Portland did this offseason. They went from irrelevant and turbulence with Damian Lillard to clearing the decks, starting fresh, and doing the true rebuild. And they got lucky, because I didn't think Damian Lillard still had this much trade value. Like, damn, they got a lot in return, a lot. So they got lucky that there was still teams that were interested and were willing to give up, everything. And at the same time, if there is any team that's interested, it should be the teams that are on the cusp, right? The ones that think that they're on the brink of winning the championship. So yeah. Hey, what's up, Peter? How you doing, brother? Thank you, man. He said, I agree, and they were disrespectful to Paul George. Well, the thing about Paul George is I'm really not going to take his side at all. I mean, he's a capper. If there was a comparison I'd have to make with Paul George is he's the Colin Kaepernick of basketball. Like, he's just capping, man. Kind of like when Colin went to the and I love Colin Kaepernick. I still want him to get a chance in the NFL. But it reminds me when he set up that workout and he didn't show up. That was hilarious. That's why I call him the Colin Kaepernick of basketball. Paul George. I just think about him as he lies too damn much. I mean, he said he grew up being a Clippers fan. This after saying he grew up watching Kobe. You can't grow up watching Kobe and then be a Clippers fan. That's like weird, right? That's like saying I love pizza, right? I love pizza, but I prefer I prefer fish right now, even though I love pizza. Like, somebody offering you pizza, bro, you're not gonna go with fish, right? So you can't say pizza is my favorite food and just say I prefer fish. Nah, bro, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't add up. So yeah, as far as Paul George, I got zero respect for him. I got mad respect for Kawhi. That's the one Clipper that I'll say he's a champion, and even though he's full of crap as well, I got respect for him because he's been there, done that, right? I'll give him the benefit of the doubt with his injuries or whatever. Maybe he's just breaking down. But yeah, Paul George, you just can't trust him. Let's see here. The Suns had a chance to beat the Bucks, but they lost because they stopped the Giannis wall and was working first two games, and then they just said CP and Book shoot it out. I'll tell you the real reason that the Phoenix Suns lost, because they weren't supposed to be there in the first place, Kane. They took advantage that in the Western Conference a bunch of injuries happened, and they capitalized off of that, but they got exposed in the finals. And I told my friend, shout out to my boy Lonnie, I told him that was going to happen. He was really throwing it in my face when they were up 2-0, and I said, the series ain't over yet. The best team will win in a 7-game series 9 times out of 10. So I figured Milwaukee would win. I called it that year, ahead of time, and yeah, that's what ended up happening. But that's the real reason they lost. Let's be honest. And Devin Booker is not him, and I'm glad they didn't win because Stephen A. was already anointing him the next Kobe Bryant, which is just pathetic and ridiculous, right? I will always call that out, no matter how many times they try to demonetize me. I will call out the truth always on this channel. And the fact of the matter is, there is no next Kobe Bryant, all right? Kyrie being the closest as far as offensive skill goes doesn't compare with the toughness and the mentality and the mindset. As much as I love Kyrie, just doesn't compare to Kobe's work ethic, his skill, his everything. So one of those things. Devin Booker, the type of player to sign to the Clippers in free agency. That's all you need to know about him. Yeah, that's one player I really do not like at all. So I'm happy that DeAndre Ayton got out of there because I actually liked him in Arizona, and I think he still has a ton of potential for sure. He said what's funny is CP and Book messed up at the end of 4 and 5. That lost them the series. Man, the series was lost the moment they stepped on that hardwood floor. All right, because it's not. I don't think it's just CP and Book. Those are typically choke artists. If you look at their careers, they've choked away a lot of plays throughout the history. So that's just it's in their DNA. It was written. It was going to happen. My guy said PG is on his toilet. That's funny. But yeah, look, bottom line is this, man. Very eventful Sunday. The gift that keeps on giving. Now all eyes are on James Harden. Is he going to show up to training camp? Are they still going to trade him? Where is he going to land? The Clippers still getting involved on that? What's going to happen with James Harden? That is the final piece this offseason before I can just calm down and start looking towards the season. Regardless, I'm excited. Again, media day is going to be tomorrow. I got you guys covered as soon as media day ends with everything, all my notes, everything I noticed from media day. You guys know I'm a sharp mind, so I will break it all down with you guys right after. Phoenix actually had a shot. CP and Book's turnovers at the end of the game, 4 and 5, lost it for them. Well, you know what they say, Kane. You know absolutely what they say, man. Doesn't matter if you win by an inch or by a mile. Winning is winning. Shout out to Dominic Toretto, Fast and the Furious 1. That's just a fact. You know, it could have, should have, but they didn't. It wasn't written, man. It was not in the cards, and I'll tell you, it was never in the cards. They got lucky that year. Just go back and look at the history of that playoffs in the Western Conference. Everybody got hurt on their way to the finals, so they got really lucky. And sometimes it'd be like that. You know, but sometimes you actually got to go through teams. That's when you're battle tested and you're destined to win, which Phoenix was not. And I kept telling people they weren't going to do it. They're like, Dan, you're bugging, you're tripping. You know, I'm like, okay, we'll see. They got a better chance now than they did then, though, because they actually got some killers. They got Kevin Durant, who's done it. You know, they have obviously Bradley Beal hasn't done it, but I actually like Bradley Beal offensive game when he's healthy a little bit more than Booker because he's more efficient, more consistent, and he can actually break down double teams and play, make and create for his teammates. Can't say the same for Booker. He's great. He's a great one-on-one player, and he's great when he's wide open, like Ray Allen coming off of the screen, spotting up in the corners like a little roach, like Ray Allen in the corner. But I'll tell you, you know, the thing I like about Bradley Beal when he's healthy is he actually plays defense, and he actually tries, man. And I think we saw that when he was healthy, it became his team when I think who was John Wall who was hurt when it was his team, and then we saw Bradley Beal actually make an impact once John Wall went down. That's when I realized, damn, he's a really damn good player. A couple years back, so James Harden to Taiwan. Nah, man, listen, James Harden has a lot of skill. I've never been a fan of his play style though, because like Kobe said, that's not a recipe for winning. I think Kobe realized that early on in his career. He had to trust his teammates in order to lead a team to a championship. James Harden, I'm not saying he's not a decent passer when he wants to, but most of his plays, man, they're ISO plays. And sometimes he gets tunnel vision. And when the flopping isn't working for him and the refs aren't blowing the whistle, it's wraps, you know? Hey, what's up, Search and Destroy? What's up, man? Shout out to Search and Destroy coming over here from Empire Jeff TV channel. Yes, sir. Good to see you here, man. And shout out to Empire Jeff TV. If y'all have not subscribed to this, man, what are you waiting on? We got 151 up in here, man. Let's run it up. Let's run it up, baby. But listen, it's been a wonderful day. I feel good, man. My Rams won. Obviously, you know, Lakers around the corner. We got media day tomorrow. And Puka Nacua is a specimen, man. He is a special talent. And we are blessed as Rams fans that we have just a great drafting department. We've had it for years. We've gotten these late picks to you know, turn out and become really good players for us. So that'll continue. Any questions, comments, concerns, anything you guys want to chat about? I'm all yours for the next 7 minutes or so. He said refs better not be on that too short this season. They're blowing the whistle. I hear you, Darius. I hear you, man. And every year we got to swim against the current. That's one thing. As a Laker fan, you've known this since the Magic Johnson era, since probably before that. We gotta swim against the current, and it's something that it feels extra special when you win as a Laker fan. When the Lakers win, it feels special because you know you really went against all odds. You know, 29 other fan bases hate you for the most part. You know, the officials don't give you the benefit of the doubt for the most part, right? There's nights where there's exceptions to this. I'm not gonna sit here and cry every night, but I'll tell you. And it just always feels like it's us against the world. It does. Even TNT, even when we're doing good, they try to downplay our success. It usually happens, right? So, like I said, Rob Pelinka doesn't win Executive of the Year. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, he's gotten robbed plenty before, and I'm sure he'll get robbed again, right? But it's all good as long as we win the championships. It's all that matters. Sally Star said, "Yep, Harden needs to run it back on Philadelphia, else he'll be out of the league." Honestly, I have no idea what the future holds for James Harden. Right? He's declining by the season, right? He's declining by the season. He doesn't put up the same numbers. I'll tell you, he had a very good playoff. So I'll say that. Like, he actually hit a couple game winners. He played some efficient basketball at times when guys were hurt and they got extra wins. But it's just not enough. It's just not consistent basis enough for me to say, yeah, he's a really good, like, elite player that can lead a team to a championship. I never thought that. Matter of fact, talking about Kobe comparisons, when James Harden went to Philly, that's exactly what they said. The next Kobe and Shaq. And I just hate those comparisons because it's like, let these people accomplish something before you start throwing legendary names out there, right? And I think that's why, honestly, and I love Dwight Howard, but I think that's why Shaq kind of took a gripe with Dwight. For one, for using the nickname he had, and for two, because people were quick to anoint him the next Shaquille O'Neal when it wasn't even close. And I love Dwight, should be top 75 player all time for sure, but it wasn't close to Shaq Diesel. It just wasn't. All right, we're talking about the Loch Ness monster versus just a beast, right? Like Dwight was a beast in his prime. It wasn't the Loch Ness monster. All right. Let's see. Devin Booker has Hall of Fame crybaby. Lost to Luka. He's been down bad ever since. Yeah, man. Listen, I'm not exactly sure what his MO is, but I'll say this about Booker. I'll say one positive thing about him is that he could definitely shoot the basketball. That is like the most positive thing I can say about him. And sometimes he gets hot, right? He gets hot, but just don't send a double team. That is it. That's all I can say. Hey, Maya, good to see you. How you doing? Hopefully you're having a wonderful Sunday afternoon, everybody. Kenny Carter says Pat Riley needs to retire. He hasn't done nothing to help the Heat. Jimmy deserves a real squad. He should come to the Lakers. Wait, what? No, Kane. How do me and Kane Carter disagree so much? I don't understand. He seems like a cool dude, but damn, Pat Riley needs to retire is not a take I'd ever thought I'd hear, man. Pat Riley is a winner. He's got the Lifetime Achievement Award. Listen, Pat Riley wanted to be part of the Lakers front office. We better fire somebody and add him there because Pat Riley is the man. All right. We're talking about an absolute winner who won not only as a coach, now he's winning as a basketball president, operation. Like, this dude is him. I don't understand what recency bias he is coming from, but he just had his team in the finals last season, even with the Tyler Hero injury. So, yeah, that is not a good take there, Kane. You usually have some good ones, but that is not one of them. Pat Riley does not need to retire. Pat Riley is going to be involved in basketball to the day he's 6 feet under, and I completely support that, man. What do you think when AD and Dwight got into it on the sidelines? I was really frustrated. People thought I was overreacting, but I knew then that we weren't going to win. Chemistry goes a long way. It really does, right? It goes a long way to winning a championship, right? I don't like it when especially championship players get into it on the sideline after winning a championship. I don't like that at all. I don't like it. He said, I think Orlando Dwight better than Orlando Shaq, in my opinion. Well, that's debatable. I'm not going to argue that one because I don't remember Orlando Shaq like that. I wasn't even I was born, but I was just too small. So I do not remember Orlando Shaq. I can't make that argument, to be fair. But there's no comparison if we're talking about overall careers. Period. You know, no comparison. Not even close. Shaq Diesel was the most dominant center we've ever seen. Now, I'm not saying he was the best or most skilled center, but he was for sure the most dominant center we've ever seen. I mean, this dude, think about Zion Williamson when he's healthy and how much damage he does when he's coming down the lane. Now, imagine that type of body style, but on a 200, 300-pounder with the same type of explosion athleticism and a 7'1" wingspan. No, a 7 foot, well, almost an 8 foot wingspan. He was 7'1" himself. That's scary, man. That's like a horror movie coming down the lane. And you want no parts of that if you were a defender, because if you did, you were going to get run over by the freight train. That was Shaq Diesel, man. So I think people sometimes have short-term memory loss. We cannot make that comparison. Dwight Howard couldn't hold Shaquille O'Neal's candlestick. And I love Dwight. I think he's a champion. I think he's a Hall of Famer. And, you know, one of the better centers we've seen in the history of the game. Definitely top 75 player. But he's no Shaq Diesel, man, at all. He says, so excited. Lily says, so excited to watch Media Day tomorrow. It will be the first day of school to have the Lakers basketball back for us fans. Go Lakers. Absolutely. Absolutely, Lily. It's exactly what it is. Great comparison. Couldn't have said it better myself. I can't wait to cover it with you guys here on the channel. So make sure if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe and like button. We still running this channel up. Doesn't matter what and anything, nothing matters. No obstacles can get in the way. So let's keep it up. And I'll tell you, tomorrow is very exciting because we get to see our players. We get to see what type of basketball shape they're in. We get to hear them answer questions, and just it gets us even more excited. And this upcoming Saturday is the very first preseason game of the Lakers, man. So I'm excited. October 7th. That's going to be huge. Also, I believe we're going to have a huge announcement on Tuesday. Okay, and that's a personal announcement by me and my crew. You know, Christian, Mies, and Empire Jeff. Right, my main guys from ATL. So make sure you guys do tune in on Tuesday for sure as well, man. Keep supporting the channel. Keep hitting that like button. Keep showing love because you guys have been tremendous. And thanks to everybody from the bottom of my heart for all the cash apps, man. You guys have been awesome. Definitely buys me time, figure out what I can do on the side to keep this channel up and running 100% of the time until I get monetized back. So you guys have uplifted me and my family, man, and I'm forever indebted to you guys, and especially everybody who has promoted it. Shout out to Empire Jeff, shout out to Christian, shout out to Mies, and you know, major love to you guys, man. I do appreciate y'all. Happy Sunday to everybody. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, man. Love y'all, and I will see you guys here tomorrow for the post media day coverage. Right, keep it locked, and peace out.